In this demonstration, we're going to see how to use Excel's random number generator to do random sampling and then also to do simulation. So let's start with random sampling. Here we've got a class list of 11 students, Anne, Beatrice, Carlos, etc. And I want to get a random sample of 4 of those students. So if it's going to be a random sample, I want each student to have a 1 out of 11 chance of being chosen. So I go next to each student's name and I type in equals 1 divided by 11 to show the probability that I want that that student is chosen. And then I just drag this down so that they all have 1/11th right next to them. That's the decimal form of 1/11th. Then I go to my data analysis. I go to random number generation. And I want just one variable because I just need one column of random numbers. And I want to randomly choose 4 students. So I'll put in 4 here. And I keep this at discrete. And then for the value and probability input range, well, one problem here is that I've got names here, but I don't actually have values. I don't have numbers. Excel wants numbers. So I close this out, and then next time I do this, I can prepare this in advance. And what I need is to assign each student a number. So I'm going to assign each student a number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 11. Okay, now I go back to my data analysis, random number generation, one variable. I want 4 random numbers, value and probability input range. I select all this. And what Excel is going to do is give me 4 random numbers between 1 and 11, and then I can find the names of the students associated with those. And it says, where do you want me to put the data? I don't want it to go in a new worksheet plot. I just want to put it right here. So I'll say stick it in these, stick it in these 4 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4. E7 to E10. Good. Then I hit OK, and there I get 4 random numbers. Oh, notice the problem. I got one of them twice. If I'm trying to get 4 random students, I don't want to say, okay, I'm going to take Devante twice. Devante is the number 4, and then Hannah once and Ellie once. I really need different numbers. So that's easy enough to deal with. I'm just going to go back to my data analysis, back to my random number generator, and I only need 4. But I'll tell it to give me 8 numbers, and I'll just take the first 4 that are all different. And where am I going to place the data? Well, I have to give it enough room. So I say, place it in these 8 spots, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hit OK. Oops. Yes, it's OK to overwrite. There we go. And now I just take the first 4 that are all different. And in this case, the first 4 numbers were all different, so that's fine. So my 4 students are student number 5, Ellie, student number 11, Carrie, student number 1, Carlos, and student number 2, Beatrice. So in this way, I can take a random sample of any size from a data set of any size. So that's how we use the random number generator to do sampling. Now I'm going to go to a clean sheet, and we'll see how to do simulation. Suppose I want to simulate flipping a coin 100 times. I go to my random number generator. I tell it I want one variable, and I want just one random number, because I'm going to flip a coin 100 times, and the only random number I'm going to generate is how many heads I got. So now that's called a binomial random variable. P-value means what's the probability of getting heads? 0.5, 50%. And how many times do I want to flip that coin? I want to flip it 100. And where am I going to put the data? I'll just put the data right here in A1. And so this has just simulated flipping a coin 100 times and counting the number of heads, and there were 53 heads. Now suppose I want to simulate 1,000 people, each flipping a coin 100 times. Well, that's easy enough. Go to data analysis, random number generator, notice that my binomial is still there, only this time I want 1,000 random numbers. And where am I going to put the data? Well, I'll put the numbers in B1 down to B1000. And so this is going to simulate having 1,000 people each flip a coin 100 times and reporting how many heads they got. So notice what the numbers look like. 46, 37, 62, 51. I'm just reading from random places in here. So this simulates getting 1,000 students to each flip a coin 100 times and report back how many heads they got. Okay. Next, let's go to a brand new sheet for this. We're going to simulate choosing random numbers from a classic bell-shaped curve. This is called the normal distribution if we haven't done it in class yet. So how do we do that? Well, random number generator. And let's take one variable, and this time let's just pick 25 numbers from as our sample. And now a normal distribution, and it says, okay, what do you want for the mean? Well, let's pretend we're doing IQ scores. For IQ scores, the mean is 100, the standard deviation is 15. So what we're simulating is choosing 25 randomly chosen people and finding their IQ scores. Notice that it asks us for a random seed here. The random seed is to make sure we don't get the same 25 numbers every time we do this experiment. So you just make up anything you want. And then for the output range, we'll put it in A1 through A25. So this is going to give us 25 numbers, random numbers from a distribution, from a data set with mean 100 and standard deviation 15. It's going to simulate that. As I said, it's like picking 25 people whose IQs are recorded, because the mean for humans, mean IQ is 100 with standard deviation 15. Okay, and so here we see the IQs of our 25 randomly chosen people. And if we think, okay, IQ scores shouldn't go down to 3 decimal places or 4 decimal places, that's fine. We just use our rounding tool, decrease the decimals, and round them all to the nearest whole number. So that's how we use Excel to sample from a data set that we already have, or to simulate an experiment where we flip coins, where we do something that has just 2 outcomes, like heads or tails, or where we choose from a data set with a mean and standard deviation that we get to decide.